part of the experience of seeing a film is the environment in which you see it at, whether it's the being in the theater or being at your house, whatever. If you're just watching a movie for the first time at your house on like Netflix or whatever, it doesn't matter. So I'd like to talk about that for a brief moment. I saw this movie a couple of weeks ago with my friends. We went to a small theater at a matinee showing, so it was just us in the theater, and it was actually really cool. It was me and my girlfriend and two of my best friends I've known for forever, and their significant others. And it was really cool because we were able to just kind of talk to each other as the movie was going on. If something cool happened, we'd be like, "Oh wow, that was really cool," or "That was interesting." So it was a good experience overall. We had some popcorn, some drinks, and it was nice. So it really helped set the mood for this very long movie. If I were to criticize anything about this, is a very long movie. This might have been the longest movie I think I've ever seen in theaters. I believe it was almost 3 hours. I think it was the runtime on it was 2 hours and 47 minutes, which is horrifically long for a theatrical movie. Pause break. Very long. So make sure you're in a comfortable setting when you see this movie, wherever you see it. Um, Definitely a movie you'd like to see on the biggest screen possible. The cinematography is amazing. The setting, as plain as it is, which is essentially a log cabin, or so to say, uh, is very well shot for it being essentially just a log cabin. Um, what really moves this movie forward are the characters and the dialogue and the screenplay. It is definitely um, a beautiful film in that regard, and a great story with great and interesting characters. And if Tarantino does one thing right, it's he gets just these awesome characters, no matter what setting it is. If it's a modern Western, um, World War II, he has a way of just writing and directing these awesome characters. So, excuse me. I'm a little under the weather. I've been under the weather for like the last 2 weeks. But it's great characters and very interesting dialogue. This is really what moves the film forward are the characters' dialogue with each other, their interactions with each other, because uh, none of these characters trust each other for good reason. They're all shady guys, and they all wind up in the same house, and it's a very unique predicament. And they all kind of know each other by reputation, so they all kind of know each other, and they don't like each other. It's great. Even the characters that do kind of like each other, they don't really like each other for their various reasons, and it's very good. Um, I don't want to give away any spoilers, uh, so I don't want to give away any spoilers. So I'm going to give my rating for the film before I talk about any spoilers. What really hinders the movie? Um, the the film, it has great characters, great writing, great cinematography, but the problem where it falls off is the length. There's even a longer version of this. I said it was 2 hours and 47 minutes. There's like a 3 hour and 10 minute version of this or something, which is crazy long. And I have no idea what you could have added for the additional time. Like more talking. I don't know. I mean, the talking is great, and when the action does hit, it hits hard and it's awesome. But that being said, I don't know how you can get 3 hours and 10 minutes out of this. I'm going to give the Hateful Eight Well, without spoiling anything, I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10. Because it is long, and the main problem is the third act of the film isn't as strong as the first two acts of the film. Do I have this already sub? 8 out of 10. There we go. 8 out of 10 for the Hateful Eight. No puns intended. It's a very good film. I would definitely see it in a theater or on the biggest screen you can. Very good film. Very, very solid film. Now, to get into the spoilers of why I only give it an 8 out of 10 and not like a 9 or higher is going to happen in just a moment. So I'll give you a minute to turn the video off. Oops. One moment. Property. Alright, cool. Okay, and I'll turn that off. So 8 out of 10 for that movie. Now, the main reason why I give this an 8 out of 10 is because it does fall apart in the third act. Not fall apart, but it leaves a little bit more to be desired. The whole premise of this film is it's a whodunit, and I think a lot of people kind of know that going into it. But the problem is, when it's a whodunit, it's very interesting if it's one person that's done it. In this case, it's like 4 or 5 people that do it. It's not. It's kind of. It takes away some of the magic from the whodunit when it's not just one person. It's like a group. It's kind of like, well, it's basically half of the people in the bar or the cabin against the other half. And it's not, but the half that's with each other don't really trust each other, but the other half do trust each other. And then there's a guy that's hiding underneath the whole fucking thing that nobody knew about from the beginning. That's really what makes it kind of fall apart. If it was just one person, and believe me, it's very hard to write something very clever where this one person manages to outwit 7 other people. But it's, whatever. I mean, this is how it goes, I guess. You can't just, well, I mean, theoretically, how would one person outwit 7 other people? They wouldn't. Well, they might be able to if it was like the Joker or something. But he's trying to make, Quentin Tarantino was trying to make the movie a little bit more realistic. One moment. So, yeah, I mean, it's a really good movie. The characters are great. Though, I guess one of the positive sides is you can't tell which characters are genuine from the beginning and who are like really just scumbags. And one character in particular, me and my friends unanimously hated in the beginning of the movie, ended up loving this guy at the end of the movie because he literally stuck to his morals. He's a sheriff character, and when he's first introduced, he's just nobody likes this guy. He's a bigot, racist, just the worst kind of person, and kind of like a pansy, and nobody likes him. But the thing is, he sticks to what he says, and there's a scene where he could have killed like 2 of the bandits, and he doesn't because the one's unarmed, and the guy's like, "I'm unarmed," and he turns around. But yeah, I mean, this is a stellar performance by all these characters, all these actors. I mean, but I mean, Michael Madison acts like Michael Madison. I mean, whatever. If anybody has the weakest performance, it's him because he just acts like himself. I mean, all these people, they kind of act like themselves. I mean, Kurt Russell acts like Kurt Russell, Samuel acts like Samuel, but I mean, they put a little bit more into it. Tarantino's good at getting a little bit extra out of his performers. So it's a very good movie. It just kind of falls apart when it's just more than one person who done it. I mean, this is how it is. It's like if you're playing Clue, and it's not, it's like four people. It's like, oh, okay, cool. It's like you found one guy, but no, there's three other guys that killed Colonel Mustard or whatever. So that's my thoughts on the Hateful Eight. A very solid film. I would definitely watch it. I would want to watch it again, probably with some friends though. And if I were to put this with other Tarantino films, like rating it, I'd probably put it somewhere in the top 5. Somewhere. I'm not sure where at. It's definitely not his best film. By far, it's definitely not his best film. But it's still a really good movie. It's definitely a very good film, and I would recommend it. So yeah, that's that. And the next